Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mimi from Peace on the Streets radio show. We're live in effect in the studio. I'd expect to talk so soon, and yo.
It's always a little bit different when Prince ain't here.
Right.
It's been almost back to back. We missing out on our boy. Unfortunately, he had an emergency. He himself is okay. We won't disclose everything that's going on, but our deepest condolences to Prince's family and everything. But we are here. We got some trending topics. We got some hot topics. We got a special guest that's coming on. And man, Mimi, there's so much going on.
So much.
I don't even know where to start.
Especially
to be honest,
in the state of Florida.
But you know where it's a good place to start? Our sponsor.
Come on.
Because without them, we just wouldn't be here talking to y'all. So
Come
go ahead and
on.
kick it off, Mimi.
All right, so of course, Peace on the Streets is also sponsored by the No Folds Group. Guys, if you get involved in any sort of accident, slip and fall, you know to call your girl, Mimi, at 407-267-7378. If you get involved in any sort of accident, guys, and it could be more than one individual in the vehicle, you all can be compensated physically and also financially. It's a big deal. So reach out to us and we'll be able to identify if you have a potential case or not in less than 10 minutes. 407-267-7378. We also got Slap the Apple.
That's right. Slap the apple with their delicious Memphis-style barbecue. I don't know if you guys have never had some Slap the Apple, but I'm telling you, it is good. From the mac and cheese to the ribs to the everything they do is just out of this world. Smoky, delicious flavor.
Everything.
It's so good.
Baked beans, macaroni and cheese, chicken, fish.
Where do I go? Where do I go to get some of this barbecue?
It's slaptheapple.com, correct?
That's right. But you can also go at the Landscape Nursery over in Apopka.
It's a Apopka Vineland. So, guys, if you go down to the largest nursery in Orlando on Apopka Vineland, make sure you stop by Slap the Apple. We're there every weekend. They literally start at 9 o'clock and they sell out by 3 p.m. So you guys must go. It's insane. People look for him. So if you want to also check out his website, go to slaptheapple.com where you can get a little bit of more information, see what they're offering, and also follow them on Facebook and Instagram. It's insane. We love them. We've been catered by them, and more to come. I'm telling you right now, and you get fat. I eat everything. So also, too, we have Automotive Repair Shop, guys. You got to really check them out. They're so genuine, and they tell you exactly what's going on with your vehicle. They're completely honest. Central Florida Transmission Repair. Tell them Peace on the Street sent you. You get a discount because of that.
Ooh.
I mean, who does that?
Man, they take care of you, as Prince says, from the rooter to the tutor. And I love that they also do financing because, them car repairs can be pretty expensive sometimes. So if you don't got the whole load, it's okay. They can help you out. And I believe they also do mentorship, right?
They do. Isn't it amazing?
That's so dope.
So all ages, even adults.
That's amazing because, college isn't really for everyone. So a good trade job like mechanics is always something that's going to be in demand. So go over there.
Always.
Check them out. See if they can get a little tutoring, some mentorship program going. Get your car fixed. Do everything over with our people out there.
That's right. Central Florida Transmission Repair, guys. Check them out at 4685 Old Winter Garden Road, Orlando, Florida 32811. Also, the phone number is 407-203-1217. Check them out, guys. Remember, you must tell them Peace on the Street sent you so you can get your discount.
Yeah, don't miss out on the discount. Go ahead and tell them Pot sent you.
Amazing. So this is out right now with our sponsors. We do have one more, which is My Taxsmith, guys. If you actually go to My Taxsmith on Instagram and you go to the office when they do your taxes, they will give you $50 off on your taxes.
Way.
You must tell them that Peace on the Street sent you.
Okay.
They collaborated with us, partnership to deliver to you guys, not us, to give you a discount if you say Peace on the Street sent you.
Don't miss out on free money. $50 is $50. It'll fill your car. Go over to Taxsmith, tell them Peace on the Street sent you, and get your little discount. And don't forget, April 15th is right around the corner.
That's right.
It's right around the corner, fam. I hope you already done your taxes. But if you haven't, go to Taxsmith.
And he's been around for over 7 years. It's a personally owned, which I love this. We support small business, organizations, charities. We make sure we cater to the people. You got to reach out, guys, and support one another that's doing big things in the community, making a change for people, and living and striving over business. I love it as well. So My Taxsmith, we love you. Remember, Peace on the Street sent you. So now it's showtime.
That's right. And I don't even know where to start, Mimi. I think I'll just go ahead and kick it off. We have all been listening as Trump has been getting indicted and all that. But you know what? they do what they always do. They're like, hey, look over there. And while you're looking over there, they're switching some stuff out around here.
Facts.
And some of the things that have been coming out that is in the Restrict Act is simply heinous. Just for example, before we got into a commercial and we hit a new our latest guest, the Restrict Act has a law in it that can lead to American citizens who use a VPN to face up to 20 years in jail just for using a VPN. For those of you that don't know, a VPN is something that allows you to change where your IP address is being broadcasted from. It allows you to have some privacy on the internet. It keeps companies from collecting your data. It also provides some security as far as firewall protection, etc. And some dark web searches. So if your data gets leaked, your VPN can give you some notifications regarding that. I myself use a VPN. But what the government doesn't like is that if you use a VPN that makes you anonymous, it can change you to appearing like you're in Japan instead of the United States. And as soon as they can track you and just be in control of every
that's all it's about.
thing,
they want to track you.
They want to track you. They want control of every last minute, every last second, everything you do, every type, every search. They just want control of it all. And this Restrict bill is it has a bunch of ridiculous policies just like that. And as they say, even a broken clock is right twice a day, because the person that saved us from this bill so far is Senator Rand Paul. For those of you that don't know Rand Paul, he is kind of he's sometimes considered an extremist. He is a libertarian. I consider him to be a real ideologue. You know, he really believes the stuff that he's saying. And he just says, hey, all the accusations that we're making against TikTok are exactly true for American companies. Meta does it. Facebook, YouTube does it. All these companies track you, take your data, and do the exact same thing. So how are we going to say that you can't do it on TikTok, but you can do it on Facebook?
Because we're not getting paid for it.
You got it, baby.
It's only China. Isn't that something? And they're literally telling you, the Congress, when you hear what they're saying about it, they're saying, where's my money?
That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, well, it's pretty insane how blatant.
Disgusting.
They're blatant about it, right?
And if we don't hear this, we're stupid.
Right, I mean, but that's
I'm
what they
just
do.
saying.
They distract you, right? They're like, hey, look, trans people. They look, Donald Trump.
Right.
Look over there, look over there. And while we're all looking over here and over there, they're doing the most crazy draconian things right under it.
Mass distraction.
Mass distraction. I like that.
And it's always.
Yep, it's always a couple of things that happen. Tennessee, the governor of, I believe it's the governor. Please, somebody correct me on that one if I'm wrong. But she ran as a Democrat, as a pretty far left Democrat.
Okay.
And now that she took her position in politics, she's switching to Republican. She literally just got in and was like, oh, surprise, I'm actually a Republican.
So she could do that. What?
That would grant the Republicans a super majority in Tennessee that would allow them to override anything without a Democratic vote being listened to whatsoever.
So she lied.
She lied. It's nothing else.
And you know what? She should not be able to do that.
No. So, but there's no clause or law, nothing, right?
Nothing.
So she got under
like
that,
it.
like, rope, if you want to say.
But if you actually look at Democrats, a lot of Democrats are secret Republicans anyways.
That's true. Joe Manchin is one that
they just don't voice it.
Yep.
But what's the big deal? Like, just like,
it's all a game anyway,
it's
right?
Common sense, like
whenever they need a vote to change somewhere, they always find it. Whenever they want a tax break somewhere, someone mysteriously changes their mind. Something always changes that. Whatever the big guys want to do, it always gets done. Whatever we want to do, whatever the American people want, never even gets looked at.
So let me say this real quick, since everything's being like passed on like under our nose. So the DeSantis bill, which he signed, right, and which allows us all to be able to carry guns without permits. So did that come out of nowhere?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He
completely out of nowhere.
Yeah. He signed it, but in a closed room with nothing but the NRA and other gun lobbyists in there.
Yeah.
No public, no announcements, nothing. Just dark closet. This is exactly what fascism looks like. And I wish people would understand that.
And he's probably going to be the next president.
I hope not, man. God, I hope not. I actually have some funny news.
Come on, do it.
So DeSantis has been reportedly been wearing heels, and then not just heels.
Hush your mouth.
Oh yes,
he's changing his height.
Oh yes, he's changing his height big time.
Wait, what?
DeSantis is known to be about 5'9".
Trina's clapping.
And every time you see him taking
I'm
pictures,
about to turn my camera on so they can see me.
Just turn around.
Yeah, do it. So yeah, every time that he's taking pictures lately with people that are known to be over 6 feet tall, he's right there with them or even a little bit taller. And you see him walking around.
And he's never been that tall.
He's never been that
That's
tall. He's wearing cowboy
It's
boots.
crazy.
He's wearing cowboy boots
with
all
a
the
little
time.
heel. He got like
on. He got a
an
little
inch heel on there.
Maybe 2, maybe 3 on there, and a little something extra on the inside. It's pretty funny. He's a fake, like from top to bottom.
It's not good, guys.
The dude is just manufactured. Like
And yes, it
Yes,
is.
he is. You said that. He is.
That was so well said. If I may, the DeSantis signs a bill, right? It's to allow to carry concealed guns without a permit. Floridians will be able to carry concealed guns without a permit under a bill signed by the Republican government, which is Ron DeSantis.
Yep.
He signed the bill recently as of Monday, and it'll go into effect July 1st. So as you know, we're the wild, wild west anyway. Most of us do have guns because we can. Now our children, 18 is an
Anybody
adult,
can.
but
Anybody.
18 can walk into the store and just buy a gun. All of us can have one. All of us will have one, and we all will have now.
But just imagine
That's
now
the
that
shit.
that has just been passed in the Florida area. Imagine how officers are going to have to pull up on stops
I
now.
mentioned
On
that.
all- and
I
everybody.
mentioned that, yeah.
How are
Everybody.
they like
Yep.
law
Yep.
enforcement?
Everybody's got a gun.
fire,
That's what they're gonna live
medical,
by.
And them,
A huge,
Yeah.
a huge
it's
part
going to
of-
be horrible.
A huge part of the
gonna
reason
be
why
horrible.
the police is so militarized in the United States is because the citizens are super militarized. The citizens have access to AK-47,
Exactly.
automatic machine guns,
Exactly.
shotguns, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. So the police need an equivalent amount of force in order to deal with them.
Right.
Like that's why one of the biggest police budget increases happened in California after somebody stole a tank
A tank.
and was running a tank
Like,
around
how
in
do
the
you
middle
steal
of
a
California.
tank?
So things like that is what
You're
leads to
right.
more police militarization, right? But it works for them on both ends.
Yeah,
They're like, oh,
yeah.
perfect. That means we get to increase the police budget. We get to sell more guns. Everyone's making money. The rest of the people, oh, well, we homeschool our kids, so we don't give
That's,
a damn
that's
anyway.
probably what they're saying in the government.
I think all of this is a ploy right now to be able to later take all our gun rights.
You think so? I'm thinking this because I've heard a couple of. I want to know the reason what people think, right? So I'm trying to hear both sides of the story. I'm kind of conflicted because I am a gun carrier and I'm not afraid to say it. But you know why though? When I moved to Florida, I felt like I had to get one because all you guys got one.
Exactly.
So that's what I did.
So-
That's what I did. But it's
Yeah.
registered and also I actually take classes.
Right.
I felt like that was so necessary.
And I did too. I used to go to Shoot Straight, and that's how I learned how to shoot.
It's so
Wow.
necessary,
Yeah.
guys. Let's keep it real. Let's the ones that are trying
Period.
to do well for themselves and
Yeah.
protect their family. You cannot have a gun and never shot it before and expect to shoot somebody.
Okay, 'cause
that's
you a
going after you.
misfire.
Right.
That's true.
anything.
Get comfortable with your gun. It's a powerful tool. When I
Yes.
shot the gun the first time in my life,
Yeah.
I literally put the gun down and sat back, thought about it, took a breath, and just recollected myself because it was so much power
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
intense.
I had in my
It's
hand
intense.
that I was
We
like
sh-
shaking a little
I
bit.
think we should ban guns. That's
It's-
just my
it's
opinion.
intense.
So this is what the gun rights laws are saying, and I get what they're saying. They're afraid of they're afraid of the government taking over on us, as they kind of do, but they tell us that we're free. So
Right.
you have like the civil rights fights in other countries, right?
Right.
They can't. They're dying because their military, their government has guns. They
Right.
don't. They only
Right.
have knives and such forth.
Yeah.
So they're saying we don't want our government to overpower
Okay.
us because that's
But-
what they're gonna do.
But this is the thing. Every time we go and riot, every time we go revolt, what happens? The government just comes, tears us up, kills
Period.
us, and
Yep.
does whatever they want anyway.
Period.
The guns that we have are not even gonna amuse the government. The government can
No.
blow you up with missiles from a satellite. The guns that we have aren't
And
gonna protect
drones.
us. And
They can do a
drones.
whole drone
They
attack on
can
you.
poison our water. They don't ever
Period.
have to shoot a single
And they
bullet
already are.
to but that's what I'm saying.
saying.
They don't need
Well, listen.
we don't need
Think
guns.
about COVID.
Like
Man
the
made.
guns
Come on.
are a distraction to make us think that we have power over the government. It's
Right.
it's a thought that's like, oh, if the government comes, I can shoot him with my little
Right.
machine
Yeah.
gun from my
Right.
house.
They can't overpower us, and take over.
As you're
Well, they're gonna
Exactly.
die
as
too.
you're
I guess they
sitting
don't
there,
care. I
you're
guess
gonna,
they
you
don't
just
care.
gotta get a missile dropped on you from the sky. Like
Right.
there's nothing we can realistically do. So
Yeah.
all that's
they
happening.
they can release a whole gas.
So
So
what
what
is-
put
what do you think-
everybody to sleep.
Yeah.
What do you think
like-
the real reason for this is then?
Because they make money from the guns. That's it.
That's
it's
it.
it's
They're
that
right.
simple.
It's about money.
Japan is
Everything's
fine.
about money.
They don't have guns. Australia's fine. They don't have
But
guns.
they're controlled by their
so
dictator.
Are we, but so are we. No, they don't have a dictator in Australia or
Japan?
Japan doesn't have a dictator.
He's a president.
They have a prime minister. Yeah. It's a democratic.
That's still kind of
society.
dictatorship because
No,
they
it's-
control everything.
No, it's not. It's like in Europe. A prime minister does not control everything. They're part of parliament.
Okay.
Parliament is similar to what we have in Congress.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's technically a more democratic system.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is they're functioning fine. Their government doesn't come and like take over them or whatever.
Yeah.
Australia doesn't do it. Canada doesn't do it. All these countries already exist. They don't have to worry about their kids getting shot. They don't have to worry about
It's
anybody
crazy.
coming and shooting them at the gas station. They don't have to worry about honking and someone's going to fire off
Yeah.
on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just don't have to worry about these things, and their government is fine. They're doing okay. They're not going to come do anything extra just because we don't have guns. Because if push comes to shove and really something that crazy happens, the government can do whatever they want with us. Just because a
That's
couple of
true.
rednecks have a couple of AK-47s doesn't mean nothing. They're just going to blow you up with a drone that you never even see.
Never seen coming.
Poof! It's just going to
Yeah.
explode while you're thinking about
So it's
fighting
always
back.
capitalism. It's
It's-
just always
exactly.
money on
It's
just
about
everything.
the money.
It's about the money.
And
They-
absolutely everything.
Because think about it. Who else in the world has a gun manufacturing system like we do?
Right.
Nobody.
No.
Where,
Nobody.
where does the cartel get their guns from?
Us.
But they don't get it in
From
in
America.
Iraq or Saudi, like out there
No,
in
they
Africa
get it
at
from
all.
America.
No, they get all their
I
guns
thought
from
that
us.
we deliver to them. Okay, makes
Yeah,
sense.
we
Yes.
deliver the guns.
We
Russia
deliver.
too, because Russia as well.
Right.
And Ukraine.
Exactly.
deliver.
Exactly. We deliver guns
Yep.
to everybody
do.
on both sides of the war.
Yes,
It doesn't
yes.
matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, if you're a dictator or whatever it is. It doesn't matter because we're going to sell guns both ways.
Right.
So that's the only reason that we have guns the way we do here. Nothing else would change. No, there's no fighting back against the government. There's no like the 16 gangsters or rappers or whatever that are gonna have a bunch of guns can't fight back against the American military. Like, let's be
Period.
realistic.
That's
Yeah.
real. That's
Let's see.
absolutely
Let's
real.
be realistic here.
That's very
and again,
factual.
we live here. They have control over everything. They don't need to drop a bullet. They can just poison the water supply, drop some gas, nuke us, drones,
Anything.
anything. Like the guns is nothing.
Just give us COVID and take away 1 million people.
So
Yeah.
so the school shooting that
All
just
that.
happened recently. I forgot the state that it's currently in,
Tennessee.
but Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
And a young person, 27 years old, and apparently they went to the school a long time ago, but they're
Yeah.
really shooting for the high school, but apparently there's a lot of cameras and security
Yeah.
is what they said. But she is actually a transgender, so
Right.
it's I guess you would say she now. She
Right.
purchased those. She had 3. She purchased 2 guys in the store by herself and walked out with it. And there you go. So that's
and that's the kind of system that they're building in Florida.
yes, just like that.
Just
so
like that.
Basically, guys are watching right now. I'm sorry to scare you. The ones out of Florida, the ones in Florida, we get it. Let me tell you this: when you're on the road, don't beep. You'll get shot straight up. They're going to shoot you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right
Yeah.
now.
Not
I don't
worth
do
it.
it anymore.
And you know what's crazy? I remember when I was a little girl, gangs used to be real big when I was younger
Oh,
here,
wow.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And so they used to have this thing. They would drive with their lights off on their cars, and if you flash your lights at them,
That
they would
gang
shoot
initiation.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
They would shoot your car up and everything. And so this
What?
happened to us when I was a kid
No.
in my mom's car.
Oh wow.
It happened to us when we were kids.
That's
I got
wild.
goosebumps
Yep.
because
That's
you
so
think
messed
you
up.
do that to help somebody.
Yeah,
like your lights
yeah.
are off, not to get shot.
Right, you're thinking you're doing a good Samaritan
Yeah,
thing,
exactly.
and it's a whole gang initiation.
Yeah, it's a
That's
gang thing.
ridiculous, man.
So I mean, I'm saying I've learned because of what I see in Florida. I said, oh my gosh, I don't beep anymore. I let them go. Like if they try to push me off or run me, I slow down and I go like all the way left, away
Right,
from
me
them.
too.
Yeah,
just
to
let
get
it-
away
let it-
like
let it be.
cat and mouse. I'm
Especially
out.
when I'm by myself. I'm
Yes.
not finna confront
Yep.
nothing.
I won't.
No, no,
I won't do
Period.
it.
I'm not
worth
doing
it.
If someone yells at me, I had someone happen at Walmart. Walmart be wild.
But I do talk a lot of junk. Hey, I talk a lot of junk inside my car.
Dog, Trina, you're so rude. Check this
like-
out, guys. I got a camera in my car now because my kids think I'm hilarious. So now I record myself talking
Yeah.
to the people that I can't talk to.
They can't hear nothing. My daughter be like,
Oh,
Mom,
my
can't
goodness.
nobody hear you.
Well, listen, guys. If you want to hear Mimi talking, go to peaceonthestreets.com. Check us out live, or you can even go to the mimimala.com. Check us out at WOKB. Look us up, fam. Check out Mimi's beautiful face talking that.
Yes, yes.
Roll
Keep it
some
real.
music.
Keep it real.
Mimi, I love you.
Oh.
She's making me
That's
tear.
beautiful.
You guys see this? It's right here. I love you guys.
I love.
I'm not
peace
afraid
on
to
the
say I
streets.
love you.
No, I'm not.
It took me a long time though.
Really?
It did. It took me
Yeah.
a long time to say I love you to my friends.
Yeah.
Because I felt
Was
love
it
is a
because?
strong word.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
is.
It's just I don't know. I know this though. What got me to start saying it was when I start losing my friends. That's when in family I
That
started
makes
saying
an impact.
I didn't say I love you. So now I literally do. I probably said it to you and you.
Yeah, I said it back.
Right.
So I say it to all my family and friends, and it's just deep. You appreciate them while they're here.
For sure.
Yeah,
You never know when the last time you're going to get to say it is.
Yeah. And don't you love your friends? Don't you? Not in love, guys, but love.
Not everybody.
Oh,
So
they're not your friends.
I call it the agape love. You know, that love is different. It's not like the eros or the other types of love. So many types of love.
That's
Come on.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Come on. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for being with us on Peace on the Streets radio show.
Much love. It's one love out here.
So we have a special guest in the building.
Yes, we do.
So first of all, my guest is, what would you call her? Joe, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Joe Matos. And I'm going to explain real quick. She is a mother of 4 beautiful children. God bless your soul. Joe is the first Afro-Latina medical cannabis consultant and coach in Florida, guys.
Noise.
She's the CEO and founder of the Cannabis Joe Consulting. I hope I'm saying this correctly. CAnnablis. Joe is a cannabis consultant, MA, birth and death doula in training. Explain what that means.
A birth doula and bereavement doula. A birth doula is being of assistance during labor and trying to help create a safe, sacred space for the mom and keeping her balanced and in tune while she's giving birth, allowing her to embrace that moment.
Ooh.
Are you like the lady with the pool of water and everything?
Like the midwives?
That's what I'm
That's what I was
thinking.
thinking.
I'm not. I'm just there to like assist and help and
Oh, that
kind
is
of
cool.
like you
I wish I
do-
had one.
You speak. It's basically it's like you're speaking affirmations and life into the
Come
mom while
on!
she's there, helping her to be present.
Like more like a spiritual role.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You're in the right
Gotcha.
station, my friend. And also cord blood stem cell research training at Duke University. That's insane. Congratulations. And you're more of like is it a herbalist and also a degree in crime scenes investigation?
Yeah.
Joe, you're a beast. So
Nice.
what got all of this together to make you want to be involved with? We got the little ad in the back. Sorry about that, guys. And it goes off every other. What got you to want to be a part of all of this all together?
Altogether, I would have to say my mom having cancer, when she was diagnosed with cancer, that's when I took the holistic route and kind of left Western medicine because I was trying to find a cure for her at that time to help relieve her pain. She was going through chemo. So I was like, there has to be something that I can do to heal her body. I've seen it. I was watching videos, and that's what got me into the cannabis industry. In general, if not, I would not be in it if it wasn't for her.
So we
Makes
definitely
sense.
have to speak about this because you're qualified and you got so much. Your resume is impressive. What made you go this route, though? I know you said with your mother, but to continue going with the cannabis and explaining it, because a lot of people have a hard time with understanding it or knowing that now it's legal.
My mom.
They get a little crazy. Really, my parents as well. And I think it's a smoking thing because they just don't
man.
want you to smoke.
Nah,
period.
my mom smokes. She
Oh, really?
she smokes cigarettes, but man, she be thinking
no.
weed is like black tar heroin. You know what I mean? It's like, she's got that old school
It's that
propaganda.
old
Right.
school.
So
that,
what's the difference between?
reefer danger?
Yeah, I get that.
That thing, you know.
Unfortunately, the society and the government has created this negative stigma behind cannabis. I don't call it marijuana for that reason.
Okay.
Marijuana does have a negative stigma behind it.
Yes,
and
if I may.
Yes, please.
Marijuana was a term that was created by the U.S. government in order to make it sound more Spanish, so that they could be even more openly racist and exploitative towards Mexicans at that time.
I'm so
Exactly.
sick of hearing about United States. Keep going.
He knows.
I'm getting
We
very
in it.
upset.
We're right there. Keep going. Sorry. to
I love the
interrupt.
country, but I don't like what it's running. Go ahead.
I love that.
He's very smart.
Yeah. I don't know. We need to
I don't
get
know
into
about
this
that,
topic
but
a little
go
longer here. But that's what got me in. And what I do specifically is I educate those that don't have that knowledge of how cannabis is a medicinal plant. I use it medicinally every day. I am a patient myself. I'm an advocate. So I go around to different clinics that are starting or are interested in becoming qualified to certify patients in medical cannabis. It has to be a qualifying physician, not just any doctor can write a script for medical cannabis. So what I do is I help those doctors open up that program. I train them, the staff, and get them set up, help them with marketing, help them to get in touch with the dispensaries and create that whole relationship. And do seminars and educate and do podcasts and just talk about like my testimony and my why. For me, I keep doing it because I'm a patient myself, but I use it for CPTSD, epilepsy, endometriosis, anxiety.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can any physician be open to this, or is medical physicians allowed to touch it? Because they stay away from herbal and
what are
any
the
kind of dietitian.
qualifications for the doctor in order for them to?
Oh, it could be like a family doctor, pediatrician,
Any.
OBGYN. Yeah, like I consulted my own OBGYN and he does medical cannabis prescriptions and stuff. So
So any doctor can do this if they're open-minded to it. It's not like their license be taken away. It's not like it's unheard of because they don't touch that type of field. You know, they stay strictly on the medication.
Yeah.
So they can.
They can for sure.
I didn't even know.
Roughly, I don't know if you might know this number off the top of your head, right? But do you know roughly how many doctors in Florida prescribe medicine? Medicinal?
I don't. It's a lot and it's growing rapidly. And you will see, like, when you're driving in different cities and towns, like, there's more and more medical, you know, they call it medical marijuana. It's medical cannabis to me.
I'm going to start saying that now.
Facts.
Medical cannabis clinics.
Not going to give the United States the whole glory.
There's a reason why it's called marijuana.
I'm so upset about hearing these
Thank
things.
you.
It's,
Yeah, it's that stigma behind it. It's really racist.
Yes.
So I try to stay away from that. And a lot of people use that word. Like I used it at first because I didn't know either.
Yep.
And then when I started doing my research, I was like, oh, I got to research more. I got to dive in more.
Wow.
I reintroduced it as medicine to me. So I make sure that I meditate, I pray, I ask her what it is that I want to receive from her before I use it. So mindfully, consciously, intentionally every time I use cannabis. So I'm not, you know, a lot of people, when they think of that, they think people are literally like smoking joints all day. No, I consume in different ways. If I have to use sublingual drops, I'll do a tincture, I'll do sublingual drops. If I have to do a gummy, I'll do a gummy.
Not everything works the same way.
Exactly.
Correct? Like the way an edible might hit you is gonna affect you differently than a joint or some drops. You know, so if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah,
it's like
that's
each
correct.
one of those can go into a different need for you.
Exactly. Every method of consumption has a different effect, has a different onset as well. Like if you smoke, of course, the onset effect is going to be pretty immediately, like within minutes. If you use a topical cream, it'll take like 15 to 30 minutes to kick in, could last 7 to 8 hours. And then when you do smoke it usually lasts 2 to 3 hours. It doesn't last that long. Edibles, on the other hand.
That could be a long day.
I would like to
That
know
could be a
about
real
this.
long day. You do gotta be careful with the medibles. Listen, me personally, one time when I was at work, right?
I'm working you.
I had partaken in one earlier in the day.
Okay,
All right. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm chilling. It's fine. I get to work. I'm still okay. And it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And I was sitting there at some point like this, like just kind of looking at my computer. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I was breathing like once every 60 seconds. I was just stuck. And I remember thinking to myself, I gotta go home. I gotta go home.
That is hilarious.
I just went up to the manager. I was like, hey, I'm not feeling too good. I gotta go. Yeah, that was the day that I found out. I was like, you gotta be careful with them edibles, fam. All right, don't go jumping into those head first.
I'm
Like,
afraid of that.
My daughter
no
had an
control.
incident. She's in college. It's her 3rd year.
Yeah.
And someone gave her a drink that had THC in it. She had never had drugs in her life before. My daughter has
I have
never.
a similar story to that.
Drinking
And
it is definitely strong.
Listen, it was so bad. She started hallucinating,
This is
all
not
kinds
good.
of
This is
crazy
wrong.
stuff.
Yep.
They literally either spiked her drink or just gave her a drink thinking that she'll be okay or
So
something.
does she
And
knew?
she-
How'd she find out?
She didn't find out until when she started feeling a way in her body, she gave her drink to a friend, and her friend told her what it was. They tasted it, and they was like, no, something else in here. They ended up calling me. I had to go to the college. We had to have the police there.
Yay.
We had, we ended up having to take her to the doctor because it really was messing her up.
This is horrible.
And it stayed in her system for a minute.
Yeah, what it does, it's like, you know, when people aren't used to it, it can make your mind kind of play tricks on you, and you're like, you think you're dying, but it's like, you're fine.
She also was
She was like,
you're fine.
I can laugh now, but it so wasn't funny then. Yeah. But she was like, I'm on fire. And so when I got there, she didn't know who I was. And I'm like,
not good.
No, she didn't know who I was. She could recognize my voice, but she couldn't see my face.
It's horrible.
So she's like putting her hands all over my face and touching me like, Mom, is it you? And
I'll be crying. She wasn't expecting it.
But yeah,
it's
like imagine if you just go into your grandparents' medicine cabinet and you just start taking things from there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's not the best.
It's not going to end well.
But
so you know, how can you tell what's better for you? That's a great question, by the way.
It's different for everyone. You can take the same exact medication that I'm taking, medical cannabis, and it will affect you completely different. So the best method is to always do your research, educate, and that's basically what I do with consulting and coaching, and showing you how the milligrams are, how many, also what cultivar, if it's hybrid, sativa, indica, like there's different strains, there's different classifications for it.
Yeah, and each one, of course, makes you feel a little bit different, some more up, some more down.
Yeah.
And it depends on what you want, right?
Exactly.
So it assists like cancer patients and so forth. Did it work, may I ask?
For my mom, it extended her life 8 years. She had cancer 5 times within that period. Whoa. So, and she would beat it each time, and she would do really well, and then it would come back somewhere else. So she used it, and it helped her live. I had my best friend passed away, unfortunately, 2 weeks after my mom.
Sorry to hear this as well.
Yeah, and she passed away from cancer too. But they gave her 6 weeks to live, and when they discharged her at the hospital, like she went to the ER just having pain, and they were like, you have 6 weeks to live.
Oh, wow.
And she was perfectly fine. She was about to have surgery to have a hysterectomy, and they told her that. And I was like, okay, you know what you have to do now. I got her to become a patient. I helped her. I would go every week and take her meds. I was like her caregiver. I helped her consume mindfully and consciously. I helped her live a whole year versus 6 weeks.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
That's such a long, that's such a
amazing.
Life, extension.
Yeah. Because I know how that is when someone gives you a time. Like my sister had cancer, and that's what took her life.
I'm sorry.
And they gave us like literally, they said 6 months. That's what they kind of gave us. Like 6 months, she'll be gone. Like in 4 months, she was gone.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the things. This happened back in 2020. 2007. I almost said 2007, but
no worries.
It's okay. You get a pass on that one.
Yeah. But it was it was just a lot when you have to go through stuff like that.
Definitely. And it's a shame that people have to have such a brutal disease such as cancer, and then we give them medicine and treatments that increase the pain that they feel during their last stage.
Yeah, makes it worse.
It makes it worse, and I'm glad that finally we're starting to come around and accepting things like medicinal marijuana that can help you ease the pain.
It's because the government can tax it now.
Yes,
that's the reason why.
And because marijuana is going through corporatization, where companies like Monsanto and all the companies that were selling you cigarettes before have the biggest like marijuana farms. They have a lot of acreage so that they can just transfer. I'm okay with it. Hey, you know what? It's fine. If you want to trade from tobacco that gives people cancer to marijuana that doesn't, I'm okay with that. Even if it's a little too late and they did a lot of damage, it's preferable, right? It's like,
isn't that something though?
It's better to fix it than to just let it be a bad system.
It is. It's a lot of things, but education is key, and that's why I do the consulting and coaching. I host women empowerment events as well.
I've seen that. Congratulations,
That's
my
awesome.
friend. You have an upcoming
go.
event coming, right?
Yes, May 6th, Saturday, May 6th at 4:30 in Castleberry.
Nice.
If you go on my Instagram links on CAnnablis Joe and CAnnablis Joe Consulting.
Sweet.
Shout out to Loudest Women in the Room. She made me the shirt
Come on.
That's dope. That's dope.
with my QR code right here.
Oh, you guys
know
see
what
that?
I'm saying?
Feel free to scan it, fam.
Guys, peaceonthestreets.com. Tap in so you can see us live in the station. By the way, your flyer is posted on our Peace on the Streets Instagram and Facebook. Go to Peace on the Streets Radio. Check out the flyer and the details, information, guys. Please, you want to connect with her. As you can see, she's extremely insightful. She knows where to guide you, and she has facts. This is important. And with the coaching itself, I know I'm going to learn something. And women empowerment, we're going to learn a lot
dope. That's
together.
Meditation, yoga, journaling,
Meditation. I've been doing a little
sound
meditation.
healing.
Meditation
Yeah.
is hard.
Yeah.
This is why you need a little bit of coaching, because I don't even know how to start.
Maybe, yeah. I've tried it for like a week straight, and
He said it's hard to keep his mind clear.
Uns-
we
I'm
gotta
very
talk.
unsuccessful.
We gotta talk. Yeah, like
Very
there'll be doctors
unsuccessful.
there and
You met her.
everything.
Look
Yeah.
at this. And you're
nice,
For
nice.
sure.
perfect time,
That might
because
be- that might
we
be
literally
something
last
useful.
week he was talking about how hard it was for him to meditate, how
I
he's
was
hard to
talking
clear
about
his
it.
mind.
Gosh, you see how
Yes.
in alignment that was?
Just say that's God's plan.
Everything
works
in
out.
alignment. Yeah.
Just saying.
Everything in
works.
alignment.
So we're gonna go
Word.
to a track, but don't leave. We'll be right back with Joe in the building. Come on.
And that's Lady Drina, absolutely killing it.
Come on.
Killing it, man. I'm not happy that Prince ain't here, but I'm just saying.
If you need a replacement, I'll
I'm
be
glad
okay.
it's you. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
She's playing our era. Give it up to our era music. Come on.
I was
Let's
jamming
go.
over here. I was like, yes.
Yes. And Drina's not the only special guest we got on today. We also got Joe.
Joe in the building.
And
Come
we have
on.
been having an amazing discussion regarding cannabis,
All the
its
good stuff.
usefulness, meditation, and so many other subjects. And I can't wait to really jump back into it.
Yeah.
And something that, I've wanted to kind of ask about, it was just running through my head, but I had heard previously that if you sign up for a medical cannabis license, that you are no longer allowed to have a gun permit.
It's different now because of what DeSantis just signed. Now we
I
can.
can say now you can.
I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Exactly.
But great question, because I was thinking that as well.
That was a really great question,
I
but
was-
thankfully,
But that's the reason why most wasn't getting their license,
Yep.
because they wanted
Right.
to have the medical
Exactly.
card.
Which
Yep.
was so insane.
Which was
like-
a myth, by the way. I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
I know a lot of people personally who had their concealed
Interesting.
and had their card.
Until they get caught. Because they can. Until they get caught.
True.
I'm
true.
just saying.
When you get caught, all of a sudden.
It's
yeah.
because that's what the law is. But
Yeah.
but you speaking such great things
Okay.
about how it assisted people that had cancer, also lupus of this nature, and even when they had surgical problems, they had even infection inside. What does it help like sickle cell patients as well? Because we have a few individuals in our lives that are suffering through sickle cell.
Yes. So it can help many, many different ailments. It's all about getting the right dosage and the right strain and the right product. And then also, not only that, but even like how you eat as well. So just like you feed your body, you have to create a relationship with food, basically, just like you have to create a relationship with medical cannabis.
that's really good.
Yes, you have to create that relationship. I have a very spiritual connection with the plant. I respect her. I honor her, like I mentioned before I consume, so that I am receiving exactly what I am asking for. And you have to create that relationship with food at the same time as well, even with water.
True. Mindfulness, right?
Mindfulness, yeah.
mindfulness.
You have to, like it's all science and medicine and spirituality is all connected.
Ooh, you guys hear that?
A lot of people don't like to hear that, but
no,
it's-
they don't.
It is.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah. A lot of people like one or the other.
Yeah, that's
You know,
it.
They draw hard
You know,
lines.
science won't work with even sometimes the natural herbs.
yeah,
and the-
we drew science out of herbs. Like penicillin is the single most successful like drug ever created by humankind because it helped heal so many infections. penicillin just comes from a fungus. They
Yeah.
just grab the fungus, they synthesize it a little bit, and boom, penicillin's here. And we kind of lose track of that because now all the medicine is just these little pills.
Yeah.
Right.
And they keep pushing, and we've made ourselves aware with the opioid epidemic and other,
Fentanyl.
fentanyl and all these
Yeah.
other things, that sometimes the things that they're prescribing aren't that great.
No, they're not. And if you watch night
Okay.
TV, like those infomercials,
I wanted
they are
to-
constantly on the
I
medication.
wanted to have you kind of guide us. Let's say I'm a patient that broke a leg. Okay, guide me through how I would go from just seeing my doctor to getting to the point where I would be getting a medical marijuana given to me,
Okay. So like if you had a broken leg and that's it, I don't know if that's sufficient.
or something.
It has to be
Um,
something more sufficient.
yeah.
Let's say whatever. What?
So I'm just gonna
I was
go-
just pulling something out
I'm
of
just
that.
gonna
but-
go back to my friend that has sickle cell because this is the
Right.
reason why I'm saying this.
Yes.
He's tired of being put on medication that basically harms the rest of his body. He's tired of going through the same thing over and over, and it's not doing anything for him but bringing him right back to the hospital. He needs a cure.
Yes,
That's
sickle
out
cell
of medication.
and fibromyalgia patients need cures.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I don't know about the word cure. Like the
Right.
word cure is really like a gray area to use when you're talking about holistic plant medicine. But you can help aid symptoms.
Because the medication he's getting is not curing him. It's
No.
more of a cover up
Exactly.
for what he's going
It's a
through.
band-aid.
Right.
And I feel like all pharmaceutical meds are a band-aid. It just covers the wound for a little bit, now allowing that wound to air out and heal. And then with medications too, you're like speeding up the process. You're not even giving your body a chance to process anything, like we're just so used to fast-paced everything. And with plant medicine, with any plant medicine, it takes time. But at the same time, I can't use plant medicine and drink 5 Cokes every day and eat rice and bread and
that's
all of
good.
these things
Yeah.
that cause inflammation. So you're contradicting, you're going against. So I'm taking plant medicine, but then I'm eating all of this junk that causes inflammation. Hello? Do you think you're going to be medicating yourself? No. Now you're only going to get high off of the meds,
Yeah.
but you're not going to receive the medicinal benefits, like the full benefits, because you're eating all of this toxic food.
Yeah.
So it's
So it's
you have to-
counteracting.
I think
Exactly.
like an
Yeah.
important distinction is it's not a cure, right? Like
Exactly.
marijuana isn't going to cure you directly. It's just most medicine is aimed to helping you deal with your illness, right?
Exactly.
Like if you have a
Or
flu,
pain.
right?
Pain.
Like if you have a flu, you take something that's an anti-congestion that'll just make you not be stuffy. That's not making your cold go away. It's just making you not stuffy. Same way
Exactly.
that's like, you're just treating the symptoms around it until your body has the chance to heal.
Because some gives your body like a ticking, it ticks because you're in stress. So I believe that it can cure them because of the stress in their body that's causing the sickle cell to stay there, remain there, and keep going, stronger. They need to, I know being mindful and having a clear mind can help, but
Of course.
they need something more to help with that stress level. It's
Of
the
course.
stress.
For sure,
Yeah, and
for
it does. You have to be mindful of your environment as well, like what you're allowing to come in through your eyes,
Gotta
what
hear
you're
this.
allowing to come in through your crown chakra and everything. We have our chakras and all of them are affected. Like if I'm watching TV all day and just smoking all day, then I'm not being mindful. I'm not doing it medicinally. I'm not doing intentionally. I'm just watching TV all day. So my brain is becoming mush. How am I helping myself?
Right.
And I know a lot of people are probably that are religious or have a religious background. There's a verse in the Bible that it talks about you have to help God help you. So it takes more than just praying. You have to do the work. You can use plant medicine, but you have to do the work. You have to be committed. You have to be committed.
Come on. So well said. And please, because I want our doctors and nurses to be hearing this right now. We have
Yeah.
a lot of them that do tune in and do watch us. And matter of fact, we have a nurse V that taps in every month when COVID was happening. She works for the county. So she likes to tell us exactly what's going on, not by what we hear on TV.
Yeah.
Please tell doctors, nurses, everybody's listening how you can help make this possible inside of these offices and medical facilities.
Yeah, so like your family doctor, pediatrician, OBGYN.
OBGYN, guys.
There's a 2-hour test that you take on the state website. It's all through the state. It's, you get certified, you pay your fee, and then you become a qualified doctor at that time, a qualified physician, so that you can certify patients that suffer from many, many different ailments. I mean, cancer, Crohn's, sickle cell, epilepsy, autism, ADHD, anxiety, PTSD.
The medication
so
they give them
go
doesn't. If they only knew, and
Yeah.
they would save their bodies. The rest of the part of their bodies from the medication they get.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you've ever seen a small child that's prescribed Adderall, it's like, hey,
This is
whoa,
not good.
whoa.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it looks pretty bad. It's definitely like giving kids meth. Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
it's pretty
it's
similar.
really bad.
So real quick, again, let's say you have one of the conditions that you mentioned, and you're just going to a regular doctor. How do you go from just going to a regular doctor to actually getting prescribed some medicinal cannabis?
Okay, so there's qualified medical cannabis clinics throughout the state of Florida, and each county they have them. I usually, if people reach out to me on Instagram, I usually refer them. There's no fee to refer. Hey, this doctor's in your area. He's closest to you. He's all about educating.
Wow.
He helps. There are a lot of doctors that are qualified to do so. So a regular family doctor, no, they cannot just go ahead and write a script. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
They're called recommendations, not a script.
So if if I'm with my primary physician, I ask them like, hey,
Yeah.
are you certified to do this?
They'll probably say no, unless if they took the course and they did it, then,
Okay.
but they have the flexibility. They can. A lot of them are not for it because they're not educated on it. This is not something that doctors learn in school.
Right. Yeah.
So they don't have a lot of knowledge. They just have the knowledge of what they see on TV and what
Yeah.
they've heard, which is a lot of stigma and a lot of negative things behind it. But then when you talk to patients individually, they'll tell you like, no, I got off of my opiates. I've been clean from opiates for,
Okay.
10 years.
So let's say I ask my doctor, they say, oh, nah, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
What's my next step?
Most likely, yeah.
What do I
Respect
do
that.
next then?
You can reach out to me. I'm on
Come on.
Instagram.
Okay.
Come on.
There we go. Okay.
CAnnablis Joe or CAnnablis Joe Consulting.
Awesome,
And I'll give you
awesome.
guidance. I'll say, hey, this doctor's in your area. Go there. They'll educate you. They'll give you the dispensaries to go to. You become a patient same day when you go there and get qualified.
Wow.
Okay.
And then we can talk about, like, I'll ask usually, like, do you have medical records, or like, why are you trying to consume, without getting into too much background, because of course you have to comply with HIPAA. You can't violate and get people's info and pass it over.
Right.
So I usually just say like, okay, like some people reach out and they'll say like, hey, I have a lot of anxiety and depression. And I'll say, oh, okay, yeah, that's a qualification. What area do you live at? And then I give them the name of the doctor that's closest to them. And then they go to that doctor that can certify them to become a patient.
Nice. Okay, so I go over there. I talk to the doctor. They verify that I am good to get my license.
Yeah.
Then what?
They get your medical records. Usually they'll tell you to request them from your primary doctor, from any doctor that you're seeing recently.
Okay.
So real easy. You can just tell your doctor, hey, I need my most recent visit.
Forward it to
Boom.
this
Most
clinic.
Yeah, you can have
recent.
most recent doctor visit is usually it'll have all your diagnosis on there. Every time you go to the doctor, it'll have all of your diagnosis.
Okay, great. So
Yeah.
one time.
On your, so you just need like the most recent doctor note, not an emergency
Okay.
room visit note, an actual doctor note, like a record.
What if you don't have a previous doctor?
Then there are
records?
doctors at certain clinics that are qualified depending on your ailment. Like if it's for anxiety or depression or PTSD, there's usually a lot of psychologists that work together with cannabis clinics, and they'll say, hey, this person qualifies. They do I say that yes, they do qualify. They do have PTSD and anxiety and depression. They're good to go. And then they give the okay for them to get their medical cannabis card.
Okay, do I get my card that same day from the clinic?
Yes, you do get the card same day. If you're Florida, you have to have a valid Florida state ID.
Okay.
That has to be valid. So if it's like suspended or expired and you try to get a medical cannabis card, it's a no. We're medical only and insurance does not cover, so it's out of pocket. which can become
Yeah.
difficult for some patients that are
I did
fixed
do
income.
some recent. I saw some recent news, however, that insurance policies won't hold it against you if you do smoke cannabis. So, like if you smoke cigarettes, they they deduct point. Well, they make your premium higher and all
Yes.
that. They say you're at risk. If you smoke cannabis, they don't.
So
Yeah.
just
They
say you
don't
smoke
consider it.
cannabis, guys, and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
I mean,
just-
I'm not. We're not advocating for
These
any
are not the views of
felonies.
Peace on the Streets and WOKB.
We're not advocating for fraud here.
Hey,
Just
whoa
letting you know.
I mean, it's so corny. All this thing is so corny. Of course, we're all that perfect.
Whoa, Mimi.
I am not here to sell cannabis. I'm not a physician. I want to make sure I clear that up. I am
For
a
sure.
cannabis consultant and coach,
Yes.
so I give guidance.
This is amazing.
This is not medical advice.
yeah.
I'm very happy to have met you because a lot of us don't know where to go and we don't know who to trust and we
Yes.
don't get it from our physician. So I'm very
Yeah.
grateful for this. How can our audience find you?
On Instagram, on Facebook, CAnnablis Joe Consulting, CAnnablis Joe. I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. And I have my Eventbrite link up with my next event, Saturday, May 6th at 4:30 for the ladies.
Come on!
For the ladies.
Where you will meet her, guys.
Sorry. I won't be there.
But you
That's
can send
awesome.
all of your lady friends.
For sure. I'll send my lady
And
friends
he's got a
out
lot.
there.
He's got fans.
I don't know about that. Don't be scaring them off like that, Mimi.
So, guys, you definitely have to follow her on Instagram and Facebook. If you guys missed her, don't worry. Go to Peace on the Streets Radio, Facebook and Instagram, where we have her information on there as
That's
well.
right.
I hope you come back. There's so much to
Yes,
speak
there's
about.
So much
Definitely.
to talk about. Like there's, the laws, the regulations, how it
Yes.
works, how to consume the onset, different strains.
So much to go into.
How to consume mindfully, where not to consume, because you can't consume and drive either.
Oh, true.
If you get
Makes
pulled
sense.
over, the Florida Department, the Highway Patrol has access to the registry, so they can see if you have an active license and if you have a script, which is called actually a recommendation.
See what I'm saying?
So
It's attached to your license.
it wasn't
These
like that at the
guys.
beginning.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that at the beginning. Before, they didn't have that access where they could see if you had an active script or not, like a
Right.
recommendation. But but they do. So you can't just buy
like,
from
I
a
knew that they
dispensary
were
and
gonna do
consume
that.
and
There
drive.
has to be more to the story.
Of course,
Yeah, but
it can't be that.
So
easy.
now we're high and we got guns. Great job, Florida.
I'd rather that than
Than a
being
gun.
drunk.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
But yet that was legal.
Just saying.
That was legal all the way through.
That's still legal.
And we grew
Exactly.
up. That
Alcohol.
was
That's still
always
very,
legal.
That's still very
And
legal.
Why is that?
nobody's overdosed from cannabis. Nobody's
Ever.
overdosed.
Facts.
You know,
That's fact.
In
they
the
can
history.
You might be
they
hungry.
can clinically say that when you go to the ER if you have too many edibles. They can legit put on the ER note like
Overdose on marijuana.
overdose.
Hey,
But
that's the best kind of
but
overdose you can have, really.
You can. It stays in your system. It goes away. You just have
You
to
gotta
talk
eat so
yourself
much.
through it if you're having if you're having a bad experience and like you shared before.
You see?
Right.
It's a
It's
mental.
it happens.
It's a mental,
does
not
happen.
a physical
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So you have to be careful. You can't
For
just
sure.
buy stuff from anyone
Yeah.
without knowing where it came from.
Exactly.
Facts,
true.
guys.
That's
Please
true.
listen to this.
there
You
has
can't.
been
Because
there
there's
has been
fentanyl going on.
yeah, there's been a lot of laced
And everything.
marijuana, and it's like
Synthetic and yeah.
And that
so-
fentanyl
Or-
has
or-
really been causing major deaths.
major deaths.
Yeah.
It's
and
so
it's
powerful.
everything, Trina.
It's
Like
super powerful.
the Ricky Smiley,
Yeah.
his son that passed, it was from fentanyl.
No.
Yeah.
He came out about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so
it's
sad.
ridiculous.
What was he taking in the first place?
I'm not exactly sure,
They-
but it was
Yeah.
part of it.
This is horrible.
Most of the time with fentanyl,
Oh,
people are
that's
using
horrible.
heroin, and they just mix a little bit of the fentanyl with the heroin to make it a little bit more
Yeah.
powerful.
Yep.
And that kind of does it. Because in marijuana, you can lace it, but you'll be able to taste it because it's a synthetic that's on top of the plant, so it tastes a little burnty, a little medicine-y.
It'll taste funny.
It'll taste a little funky, so you'll be able to tell. But
From my-
but
I'm-
there's still like pesticides, like
yeah.
you got to think about it's the cartels growing the weed, right? They're
Right.
not exactly botanists that are going to be putting
Yeah.
the most attention to it. But when you get it from the clinics, you're getting
Exactly.
the pure.
From
Clinics
a
is
dispensary.
more
It's
safe.
clean.
Yeah,
it's
it's more
clean.
So,
clean,
you know,
it's safer.
3-6 Mafia, the female in 36 Marvin is old school back in the 90s and into 2000s. She passed away, right?
Right.
And she passed away, and her brother both sent to the hospital at the same time. They both took the same thing, which was mixed with cocaine, fentanyl.
Yikes.
They didn't know it. They got it off of somebody, a friend that deals it.
That's crazy.
And then he survived, but she didn't.
Right, because you never know how it
How your body-
affects each
Yeah.
person differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you get your license. Here in Florida, it's medical only. It's not recreational, so you need a license to consume. Openly, you can't consume anywhere.
Does it travel states?
No, you cannot.
So-
You cannot travel to a different
No,
state with it.
So even in a state that has
If
medical
you go,
cannabis,
if you're driving across state lines,
No,
and
no,
you-
no, no, no. I
or
mean-
if traveling like in an airplane.
No, I mean like
It's reverse.
if I go right, like will my license be valid in Washington D.C. or something?
Will
for
Florida's
example?
license be valid in Washington?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some states that do have reciprocity and some that don't. Like we don't. If we go to Puerto Rico, for example, they do.
Damn,
So
we don't have
Puerto Rico
reciprocity?
has reciprocity. You can go to Puerto Rico and consume.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Look,
Florida's
just go,
unreal. We can't-
just go
we
to
can't get
Vegas in
nothing.
California.
Yeah, you
For
can.
real.
Seattle.
Yeah,
Say
if
it.
you visit
Okay.
recreational
They smoke in the
states,
street.
then-
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like
and
no
the
big deal.
recreational.
The-
So
this country makes no sense.
yeah,
It's all
every
about
state-
money, my friend.
You're
Yes,
right.
how they can
You're
tap
right.
in.
You're
And
right.
so you're also bilingual, Spanish as well.
Yes, hablo español.
Come on, it's a big deal for all my brothers and sisters out there.
love it. Do it
Latinos.
again. Do it again.
Dominicana from the
Dominicana.
Bronx.
Epa. Oh my goodness! I told you and Mimi were gonna get along. I called it.
When we first spoke, we're like, hey, hey.
I didn't even know that. You know what I mean?
We're
I
talkers.
knew it.
We like to talk, and we forget stuff all the time. But we like to talk.
She
It's all
also
love.
forgets
It's
her
all
keys.
love.
Mimi,
I think we
so
get
there
over
you
things
go.
pretty
That's-
fast. Move on.
You guys are kindred spirits. If I've ever met
So
some.
funny. So thank you so much, Joe, for being with us on Peace on the Streets radio show. You have to think about it. I want you to think about coming in once a month and giving an update to our audience about what's going on, the new laws. You're so insightful, and you could bring so much new vision in the
Yes.
hearts,
Hopefully you can
minds,
change
and
some minds
souls.
out here.
Yes, I know.
It's education. Education is key. I thought the same thing before. I mean, I consumed recreationally when I was younger. So when I would see people, I'd be like, oh, they're just getting high. They're on drugs.
Yeah.
Until my mom needed it.
Word.
And then I was like, she needs cannabis. And I went and started working at the dispensary. And that was
Crazy.
a life-changing. I was not a patient at that time. I went in as a caregiver. I became a caregiver for my mom. And when I saw each patient testimony, that's when I was like, wow, we were being lied to all this time.
Right.
This is actually help. These are real people. These are patients. I was seeing them transform. People were coming in wheelchairs and then walkers and then canes, like gradually healing their bodies. You know,
That's
so I was
awesome.
like,
Because the medication
what
they're
is
giving us, our
happening?
friends, are killing the rest of our body.
Yeah.
You know, this will heal
Yeah.
this, but your organs, your heart will stop. You'll stop breathing. You get seizures. You turn blind.
Or immediate death.
I can't believe you're
Sudden
selling
death.
this.
What?
Sudden death.
Sudden
What?
death. Yeah.
But yet that'll be cured. It doesn't work that way.
I had a headache.
Insane. They started off with,
It started off with a headache. I'm gonna
Yeah.
die.
Right, now I'm gonna die.
Whoa.
let me just say,
Whoa.
at night, those infomercials are horrific, my friend.
They're terrible.
I
So
I
sick.
sit there and I actually like almost cry inside because it's killing me
Yeah.
by seeing that they have medicine for absolutely everything you could think of.
And what's crazy is the old people are like, I think I need that.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, whoa, bro, what do you mean?
Because do you get a
Right.
headache every
What
day?
do you mean? You need to die suddenly?
Yeah.
That's what you.
Right.
Are you not listening to the side effects?
Like, what?
Listen,
Side
so,
effects.
listen, I'm gonna heal your diabetes, but you're gonna have lung failure.
Yeah, right. It's like,
You're
so
gonna have numbness in your feet. You're not gonna feel them when
It's
you
just
try
like
to get up
that.
from the bed.
Like
You're
the-
gonna bleed
hold
out
on.
of your eyeballs
Hey, the
every
funniest
morning
thing
at
is the
Tuesday.
depression pills, right? The
Yeah,
depression
yeah.
medicine
That's my favorite one.
Right.
May cause depression.
may cause
If
depression.
you experience
may
suicidal
cause
thoughts,
it may cause suicidal
Call
thoughts as well.
someone.
sir, I was calling you. I had a problem.
It doesn't-
What's going on?
It doesn't make sense. So
No,
like
it
that,
doesn't.
things like that.
No, it
And I have to
doesn't.
say real quick before we get off, but you know how they helped us, the commercials talk about AIDS, right? Wear condoms,
Yeah.
AIDS, big deal, AIDS. They no
Testing.
longer talk about condoms and how to protect yourself for AIDS. They talk about the medication that
Yeah.
serves the AIDS, where it will allow you to get to AIDS, but
Well,
HIV,
that is because protection against sex is a sin.
they don't want to talk about
They
that.
don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to talk about the medicine.
They
And
don't
the
want us
medicine
to-
only after the fact you get AIDS.
They don't want abortions.
After
they don't
HIV.
want Plan B. They don't want condoms. They just want to make sure that we keep pumping out cheap labor so that they can keep being rich. That's
So-
what it's all about.
You are so right.
That's what it's
So the
all
testimony,
Write a book. He needs to write a book.
word.
Putting it down.
memoir. So the end of this, the basically what we just incited you guys is to pretty much make sure that you do your research and go and
Yeah.
look into this backgrounds or everything that you have to, to take care of yourself. Whatever you're experiencing, guys, do your research, please. Don't listen to the TV, as we all
Don't
know.
listen to us either.
Yeah, it
go
can be
go
very
look it up
corrupting.
yourself.
Yeah, do
you
your
know?
research.
Do your
Research and
research.
talk to
Yeah.
people that are licensed and qualified. You have them around you guys,
Yeah.
so you don't have to go to your physicians only. There's people that are qualified around us. So again, give out your information, my friend.
CAnnablis Joe on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. CAnnablis Joe Consulting.
Joe in the building. We hope to have you back. Thank you so much for being with us on Peace on the Streets. And I gotta give a shout out to Twan right there in Georgia because he texted me. He's watching. We appreciate you, Twan. Peace on the
Let's go.
Street. We love you, Joe. Thank you for being with us.
Ashe, blessing.
Joe will
She's
be
very,
back.
very knowledgeable.
Absolutely, she's very intelligent, by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
and such a delight. She
Yes.
understands like life itself
Sweet
is such a
spirit,
beautiful
yeah.
thing. Yeah. So again, Joe, she'll be back with us, guys. So you gotta tap in. Don't leave. 'cause
Definitely.
she's
Absolutely.
insane.
I know a lot of people enjoy themselves some medical cannabis, and if you don't, it's probably just because you've been brainwashed to think it's evil. But the reality is that it is very good for so many people. Very, very holistic treatment. We all know those scary infomercials at 4 a.m. They want to cure your headache by giving you depression,
Right.
cancer, sudden death
Suicidal
syndrome.
thoughts.
So
I can't believe that.
I can because it's
I
America.
definitely
But
I get so angry. I don't want to talk about
yeah,
it.
if you want something that's a little bit less intense, you can go ahead and hit up Joe. She can get you going in the right direction. So if you qualify, you can get yourself a medical card. But you know someone that is super intense?
Oh, I know it.
Oh, you know it. It's
Miss
Miss Angela.
Woo! We got the CEO of Miss International World, Miss
Miss
Angela.
Angela.
Thank you for being with us.
It's funny. You just mentioned something. I'm going to tell you a little bit of story about cannabis,
Huh.
okay? I'm going back, some years ago, and a very good friend of mine and myself, we went to Madison Square Garden to see the Commodores perform.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
And I suffer the worst migraines you could ever think. I mean, they could come on in a split second, okay, with a snap of a finger. So while I'm driving into New York City, I'm starting to come down with one of my wild migraines. And I'm taking the elevator upstairs in Madison Square Garden, and this head is just, pounding away. I didn't even know how I was going to sit through this concert. Well, everybody's got to smoke the weed and,
Come on and smoke the weed.
Miss Angela's a beast.
Smoke the
Okay.
grass.
I mean, no big deal. That's what concerts are for. Well,
Faux show.
I happen to be sitting behind somebody that kind of blew it in my face. And you want to know something? I wish I could find that guy and kiss his feet today. It was gone. I am serious. That was the first time
Nice.
that I had a severe migraine like that was gone in less
Boom.
than 10
Oh,
minutes.
wow.
That's that
Really?
medical cannabis in
Wow.
action.
All
right
by
there.
blowing it in her face?
Secondhand smoke can
What?
be, can
Man.
get
I
you
thought
there.
it was funny blowing it in my face. I saw my girlfriend.
But it ended up being your blessing.
It is kind of funny, but
But it wasn't funny because, I mean, I was kind of hugging and kissing him during the whole show.
Miss Angela, wildin'. What's going on?
This is her.
It was getting freaky back then.
He said, I I saw you lovely ladies coming in. He's not figuring you want to get a little buzz to enjoy the show. I said, that's the best buzz I've ever had.
Nice.
Wow. You think you know
Oh,
Miss Angela?
man.
It's Monica. She can write a journal.
I wish I could have gone partying back in the old days.
It must have been
back
so
in,
much
like,
fun, free-spirited.
60s, 70s, all
Yeah,
that.
it was so critical, you know?
There wasn't phones looking at everything you do
Wow.
while you're out. You know?
You had the freedom,
Well,
man.
Must have been nice.
I'll be very honest with you. When I had my heart attack and they had to operate on me, okay,
Yeesh.
they have used marijuana in certain, a lot of people didn't realize it, in certain medical procedures. Now, when they had to put my stents in, now here's the wildest thing, okay? Now, if you have open heart surgery, you're totally asleep. But with stents, they have to kind of almost put you in a semi-coma. And they do use a little bit of that medical marijuana, and what they tell you is, and it's weird, I mean, you come out of it, you will be able to hear everything they say, but you cannot respond.
Ooh,
You can't talk,
that's a little
okay?
creepy.
Because they have you in a medically induced coma, okay? But you can hear everything. You just can't respond. It's the weirdest thing. It's
Yikes.
frustrating, but let me tell you something. You're in la-la land, but you're not feeling any pain. You're
Well,
not
it's not all
feeling
bad then.
I mean, you're not
La
feeling
La
any
Land.
pain. I mean, you're somewhere between Earth and the sky, which is really a bad thing, okay? So, when people talk about this medical cannabis and, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do that. No, in certain instances, I hate to tell you, it works.
Yeah,
It does.
it does. It does work. It does work. And it's not going to make you a drug addict or a crackhead
No.
It
or
won't.
anything crazy
They
like
say that's
that.
the gate level to like another drug,
Yeah,
but that's not
gateway
not
drug.
true.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what they say about everything.
Yeah.
Cigarettes
Look,
is the
if I was
gateway
gonna-
to...
If I was going to be a drug addict, I should have been a drug addict after my heart surgery, but I wasn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
I did, for a few hours, like I say, you're somewhere in the la-la land, but you do come out of it, okay?
Yeah.
And when you come out of it, believe it or not, you're kind of you're kissing somebody's feet that they did do that to you, because now the procedure was able to go the way it was supposed to, okay? You weren't in any pain. The doctors did what they had to do, and when you come out of it, it's like, gee, did anything happen to me? Where was I, And then you get back up on your feet, and there you go. You're gone.
Nice.
You're
That's
out of it,
insane.
okay? But, and you actually heal. Believe it or not, you heal faster.
That's what I've been told.
I believe it.
That's what I've been told. We definitely
Yeah,
gotta
you
give
do.
it up to Miss Angela in the La La Land. Come on.
She's awesome.
Fantastic.
So,
That-
people look at me and say, there's no way she's doing something like that. Let me tell you. I mean, I still get migraines, not as bad as I used to. I mean, I could take something now and it'll go away, let's say, within a half hour. But back then, I wish it was legal, because I would get such migraines where I actually would have to vomit 4 or 5 times to get rid of that headache.
This is horrible.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they had made something like that legal back then, I wouldn't have gone through all of that.
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
And, I never... See, I'm not one of these people that will condemn anything. I mean, Mimi, you and I have a mutual friend. Look at Tom Harding, right?
Yes.
His story, okay? When you listen to his story,
Yeah.
he's been through a lot. He always said, some of the things he did as a kid, he thought he was a tough guy. But look at this guy
Yeah.
now. He
Yeah.
turned his whole life around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. He has a book that's
Okay?
written out.
That's
He
See.
turned his whole life around. So, I always say like this. In life, people go through certain things, and they say, well, everybody deserves a second chance. Sometimes you deserve a third and a fourth chance.
And that's so real.
True. Fair. That's fair.
As long
That's
as we
real
live,
good.
there's going to be many.
That's
Second and thirds.
rehabilitation,
Yes.
Exactly. And you want to know something? Everybody goes through it, whether you think you don't or not. Everybody goes through it, because everybody has something in their life that'll either pull them away from reality for a while or throw you into a high gear. But believe it or not, that is rehabilitation. And then you sit back and you say, I went through that, but I got through it. So everybody handles it differently, okay? And heck, I still do it on a daily basis. I mean,
Hey, Miss Angela, come on, flex.
I love it.
Speak
I
then.
mean, just with the Copacabana coming up, and we have our lovely friends here, and we got Salsa Fest coming up.
Yes.
Hey, you know, we're on a natural high for Florida.
So, I'm not gonna speak about that while I'm
High
in
on
Miami.
life, baby.
But we're gonna be in Miami, guys. Well, South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. So we're gonna be down there by Hollywood, Florida. So I guess I just hit like 3 different cities.
It's gonna be it's gonna be smoky out there, I think.
Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
So there's an amazing salsa fest out there by Hollywood, and we're gonna be actually there. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we will be in South Florida with Miss International World. It's Peace on the Streets.
What's the dates again?
Hey,
we're
this
gonna be
Friday.
there. We're going to be there with PJ from Juju. Of
Juju
course, we got
Juju
Charles
Vodka.
Betty, who just flew in today. And I've got some real good news.
Come on.
okay?
Let's go.
Hit it.
Of course, meeting with Mayor Trantellis last week. He's the mayor of Fort Lauderdale. And I had 2 very enlightening calls today about the Copacabana.
Nice.
Now, we have 2 major hotels. I mean, we've got a lot of major hotels in Fort Lauderdale, but 2 of the biggies, one of them happens to be the Bahia Mar. And I got a call from the guy who runs the Bahia Mar. I mean, he's like the owner, okay?
Nice.
And he said to me, I'm nostalgic. He said, I would love to take the Copacabana. Now, they are going to be building onto the Bahia Mar. That probably would not be ready right away. But what he did offer was he said, look, if you guys feel you could right now do some shows and take smaller space for the Copacabana, I will take it, and I will build the supper club. Okay?
Okay.
So that's one call. Now
Nice.
I just got another email tonight from the woman who's in charge of the construction of the new Hyatt Pier 66. She's, oh, my God, I'd love to connect. She said, I could just see the Copacabana sitting on top of this new hotel.
That would be sick too.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
So-
lining up.
They are.
So here we're I'm telling you, we're lining up, okay? And,
Exciting.
you know, they asked me the kind of acts that would go in there. I said, look, it's going to be nothing but top-notch acts.
That's right.
I said, okay. You're talking, I said, like Tito Puente Jr., I said, you know. And now they even said, well, could we get Pitbull or Cheyenne? I said, well, look, you build a huge supper club that can hold a lot of people. Now you can get the Pitbulls and the Cheyennes
Come on.
because, you know, they go into the arenas and fill 30,000 people.
They do.
Yeah, build it and they shall come. Right?
For real.
That's the saying.
Exactly. And, you know, last week when Tito and Melina were
That's a
up
great
in,
movie.
they were up there somewhere in Tampa. I can't believe that Willie Chirino still can pack a house.
I
Yeah,
believe it.
For
Absolutely.
Sure, for sure. And there's so much
I mean,
Spanish,
he-
talent.
Yeah.
He's like
Yes, come on.
70-something years old. I
Come
didn't even know
on.
No way.
I've seen Bruce Springsteen sell out. He's still on tour. I'm saying,
Yeah.
and his ticket's like $1,000. So
Man.
like it happened. They're
Yeah,
legends.
yeah. It would be cool to have something like a Vegas style performance here in Florida. You know.
Ooh, like a
yeah.
residency.
Yeah, residency.
Miss
something
Angela.
Like that would be
We might have to-
sick.
We
Well,
might have to
that's-
consider.
That's the idea because you realize if you do now. What's something I didn't know that I just found out today? I always thought the Bahia Mar was kind of an independent hotel because it's one of the biggies there in Fort Lauderdale. No, it's actually owned
Is it by Wyndham?
by DoubleTree by Hilton.
Oh, okay.
So it is a Hilton. So the idea there is when you've got it in something like a Hyatt or a Hilton, and this goes over well, now you start expanding in other parts
Right.
of Florida and around the world.
Right.
Yep.
So
Hilton's
now the
everywhere, literally.
Copacabana has got a chance of expanding.
Ooh.
That would be phenomenal.
That's one of the reasons why I am going to South Florida, just to speak a little bit more about that project as well as with our sponsors, Juju Vodka.
That would be
I
dope.
can't wait to meet PJ. We just announced his vodka last week or 2 weeks ago. We had his bottle the whole entire time. So it's impressive, like what they're delivering, how they think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they're taking this. I just love that. So I want to be part of that journey. God willing, we can make something happen when I'm out
Hopefully.
there.
Knock on wood.
For sure. Well, then I also will be enjoying the Salsa Fest out there that I hosted before, which is up to 10,000 people.
That's dope.
So it's
That's dope.
insane. So I'm going to be around greatness this weekend. Let's see what we can come up with, Miss Angela.
Oh, we're going to come up party. for Latin billboards. Now you got all the celebrities on the red carpet.
That's right. Absolutely. And they also get like coverage at the same time. And that's just a beautiful thing. And because we all want to see behind the scenes. We want to see on the scenes. You know, it's kind of like a little bit like what we do in sports. You know, we come out, we have a host all throughout it. They interview, they show behind the scenes. I want to do that, Miss Angela. So I think this will be a game changer to these events and to these venues.
Exactly.
Yes.
This is going to be, you know, Mimi, you should have known me in 2005. When I did my 2005 pageant at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, okay? Forget about the pageant side. I mean, I had an all-star show. And people were actually buying tickets to see the celebrities that I had, okay?
Wow.
Over the pageant. Now, my host, I mean, he was big on the telenovelas. I had Eduardo Llanes, who was my host, okay? And he was in all the telenovelas on Telemundo.
Wow.
I had Cynthia Oliveria, who was Miss Puerto Rico Universe, as my hostess.
That's
okay.
sick.
I'm trying to meet her. By the
Ray
way.
Ruiz. Okay, Ray Ruiz was my headliner.
Oh,
Okay.
snap.
Wow.
Yeah, he was my headliner.
Gosh, these are legends.
I had Don Omar as a headliner.
Don Omar.
Insane. It's like the breakthrough of reggaeton when it came out.
Yeah, I had Don Omar. I had Barbara Higuera, who had one protagonistas on Telemundo. I mean, I had women saying to me, Eduardo Llanes, how much is the front seat ticket? I don't care if it's $1,000. I'm going to pay it.
That's insane.
Because it was, in fact, people are still talking about that show. That show was so big that I had Maritza Rivera, who her husband was the vice president of Univision. They actually came out and covered the whole show.
No
That's
way.
insane.
That's sick.
Yeah. So this is what we want to do with the
That's right.
Copacabana. Well, they will come back out and host. You have something
right.
like that, they'll host it.
Absolutely. That's the Latin community is very strong. Just imagine, and we finally have a venue where it all comes together.
I mean, it'd be nice. It would be nice to have some like major spot. You know,
That's right.
That could be that because the
Well, that's it. And
yeah.
if it's a big supper club with a big stage, I mean, I could definitely, do the pageant there because when the Copacabana was in Fort Lauderdale, I actually did do my pageant at the Copacabana with David Luca and his orchestra. It was standing room
Nice.
only.
Whoa.
Wow, that's sick. I
Yeah.
could see that. I could see that working. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a great. So, yeah, yours truly, Miss Mimi, will be down here this weekend.
Ow!
Okay.
Come on.
And
Let's go.
Wait.
And she'll be doing her thing, and I'll be doing my thing, and we'll definitely. We've got Miss Latina International is going to be with us. We got Miss Colombia is going to be with us.
Come on.
So it's going to be a great weekend.
Oh, so I'm going to show you guys the ladies, so don't worry. I will be with the ladies. I'll introduce them. I'm going to show you the ladies, and hopefully I get an interview in because it's quite loud at the Salsa Fest. But if anything, we're definitely taking pictures, doing little promos. I'm going to introduce you guys to PJ, who is the owner of Juju Vaca, and he was our guest. But now you guys get to see him.
Yes.
And now we get to, I'm going to try to strive for a brief interview with him, but we're also going to have a sit down together. So this journey is going to be very valuable. I can't wait to go out there. I know who I'm working with. I know the greatness around me, and I know what we can develop. And so it's a big leap of faith for taking him out there, South Florida. We're in the building.
Peace on the streets.